everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Radio OA's Drew Sidora isn't fooling anyone by attempting to seal her divorce decree. Drew Sidora's tear-streaked performances may play well on screen, but the Real Housewives of Atlanta fans aren't buying it, especially now that she's scrambling to keep her divorce record sealed. On Season 16, Episode 6, titled Peace Interrupted, Drew and estranged husband Ralph Pittman took their drama to new lows, exposing a fractured relationship that's becoming harder for Drew to spin in her favor. After years of dodging accountability and getting tangled in questionable storylines, her latest move has viewers asking, what is she really trying to hide? Drew's desire to keep her divorce records sealed has raised suspicions. She insisted to her attorney that revealing the details could harm her children, but her discomfort when asked what might be exposed hints at deeper concerns. There's definitely more evidence against Ralph than against me, she nervously shared during the episode. Viewers are skeptical, especially after Drew previously accused Ralph of cheating and stealing money from her. If Drew's only motive is to shield the children from uncomfortable truths, why would she need to hide so much about Ralph's alleged actions? The conflicting statements raise more questions about what she's really trying to protect. This season, Drew sparked controversy by working closely with Porsha Williams' ex, Dennis McKinley. Though Dennis and Porsha have maintained a cordial relationship for their daughter, PJ, Porsha was upset to learn Dennis was helping Drew with her music career, especially after asking him not to meet with Drew on camera. Despite objections from both Porsha and Drew's estranged husband Ralph, Drew refused to cut ties, prioritizing her music ambitions even as tensions escalated. Drew claims her music project with Dennis could eventually pay for her children's and Porsha's daughter's college. Despite Ralph's discomfort with Dennis' involvement and his repeated accusations of Drew's alleged infidelity, she insists she's not being irresponsible. I've made mistakes throughout the course of our marriage, but Drew has too, Ralph said in a confessional. And so I believe unsealing of the records gives 100% equal playing field. According to Ralph, he pays all the bills at the house and has been banished to the basement. Drew has a completely different story. She claimed to be the sole provider for the family and tearfully suggested Ralph stole money from her. It's perplexing why Drew would be opposed to the divorce records being unsealed if Ralph had stolen hundreds of thousands of dollars from her and had been unfaithful. What's even stranger is why Ralph would be so eager to open the records if the information within them would further destroy his reputation. Drew has put every failure throughout their marriage in his lap, so the records being exposed should only add color to her damning statements. Another possibility is that making the records public could prove that Ralph isn't as irresponsible as Drew claims. Because the divorcee's accounts of the marriage and divorce are so polar opposed, someone has to be lying, and the other has to be somewhat closer to the truth. Before Drew's awkward reunion moment at the close of Season 15, attempting to serenade her estranged husband, there were rumors that she'd taken a dip in Andy Cohen's proverbial lady pond. The whispers coincided with Drew's role in a movie produced by former RHOA fave Kandi Burruss and her husband Todd. In the past, Drew plays a desperate housewife who has an illicit affair with a woman. The storyline consists of a couple who are bored with their mundane life and decide to experiment with giving each other a pass for an extramarital affair. Several blogs reported Drew was seen canoodling with a woman on set while filming. The plot of the movie seemed eerily close to the turmoil being discussed online regarding Drew and Ralph's rocky marriage. When asked about the rumors, Drew attempted to dismiss them, but critics of the show weren't buying it. To add insult to injury, Drew was spotted in Atlanta with a lesbian actress. Shortly after, Drew and Ralph attempted to outrun each other to the courthouse to file for divorce. Drew beat Ralph to the courthouse with less than an hour to spare, filing on the basis of irreconcilable differences, stating the marriage was irretrievably the couple's situation as a show divorce. But with the divorce records being opened, she may have bigger problems than Ralph sleeping in the basement. When she joined the series, Drew accused then-Peach-in-training, LaToya Ali, of attempting to manipulate a pastor into an extramarital affair. Drew's stance seemed far-fetched, but some fans gave her a pass after Drew acknowledged that she came from a religiously conservative background. Some have speculated that her religious foundation could be a motivator for her desperation to keep the divorce record sealed. If Drew has experimented with an alternative lifestyle, it could be detrimental to her relationships with former friends and family. For some reason, she is desperate to hide parts of her past, while Ralph has admitted to cheating and is willing to let the truth finally come out. It's clear that Drew's concern for Ralph and even her children finding out their father cheated wouldn't warrant this level of tears or desperation. Drew was trying unsuccessfully to save herself, and now that she has failed, she'll most likely resort to her default of misinterpreting the truth. Here come the lies. The Real Housewives of Atlanta thrives on spectacle, conflict, and revelation, so when a housewife tries to dim the spotlight, everyone notices. Drew Sidora, actress turned Bravo-celebrity, knows this game. And yet, in a move that would have Andy Cohen raising one meticulously groomed eyebrow, she's now trying to seal her divorce decree from estranged husband Ralph Pittman. But let's be real, Drew isn't fooling anyone, least of all the RHOA viewers, who have seen enough dramatic exits and teary confessionals to sniff out spin from sincerity. Let's be clear. Drew Sidora is no stranger to drama. From her tearful breakdowns about marital woes to explosive on-camera confrontations, she has wielded vulnerability as both weapon and shield. She's given fans marital messiness, family tension, and just enough "I'm working on me" platitudes to keep people watching. But this latest attempt to privatize her divorce feels less like a boundary and more like a smokescreen, an effort to control a narrative she no longer owns. You can't sign up for a reality show, one where your marital dysfunction is a major storyline, and then act shocked when people want the tea. We've watched Drew and Ralph air their grievances in front of millions. We've dissected their therapy sessions and cringed at their interactions like it's our job, because for Bravo fans, it kind of is. Ralph gaslit, Drew cried, repeat. Their relationship drama wasn't just a subplot, it was the plot. So why the sudden pivot to privacy? Sure, everyone deserves dignity in divorce. But sealing a divorce decree isn't the same as quietly moving on. It's an act of deliberate obfuscation. It sends a message. You don't get to know what really happened. Unfortunately for Drew, RHOA audiences are like bloodhounds when it comes to secrets. If you tell them nothing to see here, they'll tear down the whole facade just to find out what's behind it. From the outside, Drew's move reeks of image control, not emotional healing. In an age where housewives leverage personal struggles into podcast deals and wellness brands, there's always a side hustle and a scandal. Sealing the decree might be less about protecting her children and more about preserving marketability. It's hard to sell empowered single mom when the unedited documents suggest something less flattering. The irony, of course, is that this attempt at secrecy might backfire spectacularly. Because now, everyone wants to know what's in those papers. What's so bad, so explosive, so off-brand that Drew feels the need to lock it away? Was it financial misconduct? Infidelity receipts? Custody stipulations that tell a different story than the Instagram captions? Whatever it is, it just became 10 times more interesting. Drew might have been better off letting the documents speak for themselves. At least then she could spin them in her favor. The real kicker. We already saw it unravel. The show documented the decline. Rioa didn't give us a sanitized version of Drew and Ralph. We watched him dismiss her feelings, avoid accountability, and treat emotional labor like a foreign language. We saw Drew flounder for connection, plead for clarity, and occasionally erupt in well-deserved fury. The divorce was a logical next step, not a shocking twist. So why pretend now like the full truth needs hiding? The Bravo universe doesn't reward silence. It rewards confessionals, redemption arcs, and tea-spilling tell-alls. It's no accident that some of the most beloved housewives are the ones who laid themselves bare, flaws, failures, and all. Drew has already opened that door. Trying to slam it shut now, after we've all seen inside, feels more manipulative than protective.